Happy Friday, everyone, and welcome to the very first Paycheck budget of May 2022. My name is Jackie, and we are enjoying life's journey. I like to share our real household numbers with you. We do follow a zero-based budget, and more recently, I updated my Excel budget template for May to reflect what we're trying to do, what's called the 60% solution budgeting method. So if you're interested in finding out what those are and how we manage our money, then let's jump on my Excel sheet and we'll jump into this week's budget. Like I mentioned, I have my Excel sheet here, so we're trying to readjust some of our percentages for different categories within our budget. But overall, we still are doing a zero-based budget. So that means all the money that comes into the house, we're telling it where to go. And we do like to not only do our monthly budget, but we do every single week because we get paid every week. So we like to call it our paycheck budget. We are a family of 4. My husband primarily works. He works a lot of overtime though. So a lot of times it's kind of the equivalent of 1 full-time job and 1 part-time job. I am a stay-at-home mom, or I like to call myself self-employed because I do make a little bit of money on YouTube, and lately I have been delivering for DoorDash or Amazon Flex, so I've been bringing up a little bit of money from there. Currently, whatever I'm bringing over from those sources though are going to help us to try to pay off our teardrop trailer. So for those of you who missed, I've already budgeted out the month, but I've already made some changes to the budget because my husband and I have sat down and we've done an official budget meeting. We haven't done a budget meeting in quite some time. So a budget meeting is when basically Dave Ramsey talks about this, and he says, let's say you have one person in the family, myself, that likes to do the budget. They like to do the numbers and crunch the numbers and do all that. You let that person do that and they plan out the budget. And then during the budget meeting, you present the budget to the other person and you say, okay, here's what I've put down. Go ahead and change, let's make some changes. I need some help finishing it up or whatever. And then you have them change a few things on the budget. This way you feel like you're more on the same page and things like that. I was finding that Ricky would come to me and just say, hey, I need to buy this, or I need to buy that. And I'd say, okay, go ahead and get it. And then I was going back and changing the budget and updating the budget, but we weren't on the same page. We're not after the same goals. So I was starting to feel a little stressed out, because I'm like, hey, I'm trying to do this, and he's not doing that. So we sat down at the beginning of May, and that's when I presented the 60% solution with him, and he agreed, yeah, those percents sound good. And then I went ahead and said, all right, I need you to help me with the actual budget this month. So what I did was, for the fun category down here, I basically said, okay, we need the $20 for the parking for the event that we're doing, and the $44 for his NOS, $11 a week for his NOS. And I said what was left, I wanted him to pick where was it going to go. So if you see here, I originally budgeted $90 for eating out, $25 for events, $80 for him, and $150 for camping. But you can see we have a few changes. So we're only going to do eating out once, and I mentioned that this is going to be the dollar menu, because normally if we don't eat at the dollar menu, we end up spending closer to $30. So since it was $23, the event, I actually didn't need $25. I only needed $20, so I did adjust that. And then date night, we count this for basically alcohol drinks for the house, so beer and wine or whatever. So I had a feeling, I mentioned this last time, that he was going to bring that back. So we did. And then this particular week, he's actually going to be going out on a motorcycle ride with one of our friends, and so he has $23 for that, and then we had the $11 for the NOS, and then we just did the NOS, and then camping ended up being $138. So this is how I got him to be involved without stressing him out, because the bills are the bills, and the bills are due when they're due. And so this way I said, hey, how do you want to spend the fun? So this kind of gives him a heads up now, as opposed to coming back after the fact saying, hey, I bought some beer, or I did this, and then I have to go back and switch it. Now we kind of have a little bit better of a plan. Same thing goes with our short-term savings / irregular spending. So I did tell him, hey, we need to get the tags for the truck because we were going to get them last week, so we had to push them to this. We were going to get them last month, we had to push them to this month. So I changed that. We originally were going to have more in this category. However, if we look up here, my husband's probably not going to have overtime on the 20th. So he came to me after we already sat down and redid all the budget. He came to me the other day and said, hey, the second week of the month, we are not doing 10-hour days. We're just going to do our regular 8-hour days. And that way people can kind of get a break, because people have already been, you know, a little burnt out doing 10-hour days. So I put that for the third paycheck. So basically that second paycheck, they work the 40 hours and then they get paid like that following week. So I took out that $450. So these are some changes I already had to make to the budget before bringing you guys on. But I feel a lot better now that we've actually sat down, and now he's going to get used to me bringing him in to the budget more often. So for this particular week, on the 6th, we had his base pay of the $1,200, and we did have the overtime of the $450. So I make these black now because that's the official amount. Red was my projected amount, and then on my actual amount here, I go ahead and make these orange because now these are numbers that we are working on. Our cash back, I had budgeted 20. We actually had 36.89. So make that black, and this will make black because we won't have any more cash back for the month. Okay, so that's just focusing on this week. The one thing we didn't change, even though the income went down from what we originally budgeted, we still left the $50 a week for Ricky's Roth IRA and $35 for my Roth IRA. So mine, I have a Fidelity Roth and a Vanguard. I went ahead and set up the $35 to automatically transfer into my Vanguard Roth, because this is the Roth I've had the longest. So once you've had your account open and working, any money you've put in your account, you can take out penalty free as long as the account's been established for at least 5 years. So I wanted to pick the account that I've had the longest. So this I did set up automatically already, and I set that up to come out on Mondays. So that I was able to set up every single week. So I'm gonna make this blue because this is gonna be money that's gonna be invested or saved. It's not necessarily spent and gone. And then Ricky, we put his into our savings account for now. I set up his Roth through Fidelity because his new company 401k is going to be through Fidelity. So I just wanted to be able to have everything in one spot. And his, I was not able to set up as a weekly transfer, but a monthly transfer. So for his, I just set up an automatic transfer for June 1st of $200. But these I'm going to go ahead and make blue because these are money. We're working with this, but this is going to be invested. And that we're just going to keep same across the board, make it easy. Now for myself, I mentioned whatever I'm bringing from YouTube or Amazon Flex is going to go towards the teardrop. So I'm going to, you know, that's lined up with that. It's going to be $177.17. So I officially, with YouTube, you get paid. So like, let's say I'm earning this money this week or this month, but then I get paid for that amount like the following month. So this 177 is part of what I made last month, but I'll get paid in this month. So I finally had my closeout number, so it's gonna be 177.17. And before I go too much further, I did want to jump on a few of the comments from last week's video. So like I mentioned last week, we are closing out April, so thank you for the 3 people that commented. Lisa, Heather, and Jillian, thank you guys for commenting. Lisa says, way to go, Jackie. Heather says, well done on chipping away on the teardrop payments. I think you're gonna do it this year because our goal is to have this paid off by the end of 2022. Fingers crossed. Good job keeping, and Jillian says, good job keeping up the momentum to pay off the teardrop trailer early. So thank you, ladies. I also did want to point out that I have a new feature on my page. YouTube just gave me access to this feature yesterday, and it is now a super thanks. So on any of my videos, if you want to contribute to our channel and help support our channel in any way, you can do a super thanks, and this is just a little donation that you can make to me, and it highlights your comment, and this can be done on any of the videos. So I know for some of you who like to support the channel, you've purchased my budget templates, which the link is down below. Those are, my budget template is still for sale on Etsy, so you can support the channel that way while also having the budget template for yourself. Also, some of you have used my Amazon affiliate link to go shopping on Amazon, where I earn a very, very little commission, but I do appreciate the support. And as always, all of you who just comment and take the time to comment I do appreciate that as well. So thank you for supporting the channel in any way that you see fit. If you did want to do a little tip through the comment section, and if you wanted to say, hey Jackie, I want this money to go to your teardrop, I want you to help pay the teardrop, cool, I'll apply it to that. If you say, hey, that money's for your daughters, I'll apply it to that. That money's for your tortoises, I'll apply it to that. So if you did want to show your support in a monetary way, then I would appreciate it. I just thought that was really cool that I have access to that now. So thank you, ladies. Again, if you share comments on Friday's videos, they do get shared on next week's videos. I do read every single comment on my channel. The next category, so like I mentioned, we're trying to do the 60% solution. So the goal for our retirement is to be at 10%. For this particular month, we're going to be at 5%. So we're just trying to build that up. Long-term savings and debt payoff, the goal is 10%. For this particular month, again, because we're only bringing over what I made, it's going to be about 3%. And then for your committed monthly expenses, the goal is 60% or lower. So because Ricky's going to have 1 week of no overtime, we went from it was 70%, now it's 75%. So obviously, because that's high, we got some debt to pay off, right? We got to get rid of some of those monthly bills so that we can add to some of those other categories. But for the month of May, we're at 75%. So the taxes actually were a little bit lower than I had planned, and that's because we are now paying for our health insurance. So that actually lowers some of our taxable income. So that was a nice surprise. So I went ahead and changed the other weeks based on this week just to have a more accurate projection. So originally I was estimating 198 for federal, and it's going to be 172, and it's actually going to be a little bit lower just because obviously the week without overtime. So it's $43 a paycheck right now for federal. It was $20.31 for state, $22.65 for Medicare, and $96.87 for Social Security. So the insurance that I had estimated, I was correct. So it's $5.02 for all of the life insurance that we added, and then the $87.66. This is for our health insurance, our dental, and our vision. So I make these black because these came out of the paycheck automatically. I did have a viewer ask, because they were curious as to why I was including the taxes in my calculations, and that's because all of these percents that I have are based on my before tax income, and this allows you to invest more because I'm investing 5% or 10% before taxes instead of after taxes. It's a higher amount. It allows us to save more or pay more in debt, and it allows you to have the other categories of fun and everything to be a little bit higher as well. So the idea is that this 60% includes your taxes and health insurance, and that's part of the 60% solution versus some of the other budgeting methods. That's why I liked it. So like I mentioned, I kind of changed them across the board so you can see, you can compare what I originally budgeted and to see how the taxes are a little bit lower because now we're paying the health insurance. We also rearranged some of the other bill money. So we're going to have the mortgage payment coming out of the first two paychecks instead of the last two paychecks. So out of this particular paycheck, we have $407.71. I've already transferred this into the savings account. So this $14.35 is due June 1st. So we're putting it in savings until that last paycheck. Then we pull it over to the checking account where it automatically comes out. Groceries, I originally had 110 budgeted out every week. This week we spent $154.96. So I spent $32.18 on stocking up on some more food, and then the rest of that was our groceries, filling up our 5-gallon water jugs, and the tortoise food. So what I did was, it's a little over from what I planned, but I kept the rest of the weeks at 100, so I won't be really adding to the stockpile, I don't think, unfortunately. But I'm gonna make this orange because this money is in the bank now, and now I just need to make that payment on the credit card. And so we're gonna make these orange on the end because these are now being worked for the budget. Coming down, we're gonna try $90 a week for our gas. I'll make this orange because now we have that money in the bank as well. last month we averaged, originally we were averaging about 88, and after that last week of spending, we actually spent a little less. We averaged a little bit less than that. So I left it at 90, and we'll see, we'll just have to see how that goes. My daughters, like I mentioned when I did the monthly budget, I did sign them up for a hip hop dance class for the summer, and that was $65.55. So now I have the money in the bank, so I can go ahead and pay that off. I had charged that onto the credit card. Now getting down to this area, like I said, I kind of moved stuff around because I figured, you know, we need to pay for those tags now because we already pushed it from 1 month to the next. I felt like if we wait till the end of the month, it's going to get pushed again. So now I do have that money in the bank, so I'm just going to log on to the MVD and make that payment, and that way Ricky will get his tags. We originally had 122 budgeted for when Ricky and I redid the numbers. We were doing 122 for personal care, and then more like 500 and something for the household stuff. We ended up lowering it because, again, he's not going to have that 1 week of overtime. So we're not going to be able to do the 600 towards the project. We're only going to be able to add another 269 towards the project. And we're talking about our back patio cover. This 118.68 has officially been spent. Ricky ordered a few things on Amazon that we had already planned ahead of time, so that was really nice that we had that budget meeting first, because now he knows, okay, I bought the things I wanted, the money's spent, it's done. And then I did actually stock up on a few personal care items. I was able to finish out our stockpile for our baby shampoo, which we use as body wash, and our baby wipes that we always have in the bathroom. So this is $118.67. I actually have to pay off. It's already charged on the credit card. We'll be paying that off later today. I'll make that payment. And then, like I mentioned, my husband Ricky's going to be going on his little motorcycle ride, and then we'll have $23 for beer and wine. So my husband still has, I think, 4 beers in the fridge. So normally, you know, he would buy like a 12-pack or something. So this week he'll probably buy like a 6-pack to just add to that. And I usually buy a very cheap, like $5 bottle of wine. So that's probably what we'll end up doing this week. And then we already got his NOS, so he has $23. So if when him and his friend go on the ride, if he wants to get snacks at the gas station, or if they want to go fast food or wherever, he's got something for that. So that's what this week looks like. I've already made changes to the month, like I said, because we did the budget meeting, and Ricky's not going to have 1 week of overtime. I am probably not going to deliver for anything like for the summer break, so I think I'm done delivering for Amazon Flex or DoorDash for the summer. I have been keeping an eye on Amazon warehouses on the job postings, because I might go back to the sort center if I can get a like 3-day shift. But I actually just applied for my daughter's school to do the cross guard, the crosswalk position for next school year. So if I can get that, then I won't have to work at the warehouse, and I won't deliver because I would have a set schedule, set income. That is minimum wage, though. It's only like $12.80 an hour, and you're only working, you know, maybe 2 or 3 hours a day, obviously, because you do the crosswalk in the morning, crosswalk in the afternoon. But I thought it'd be a fun way to be part of the school, be involved in the community, and still be there for my kids as a stay-at-home mom, and just bring in a little extra income. So fingers crossed I get the position. I don't know. I applied on Sunday. It's already Friday. My application has been moved from applied to the eligible list. So I don't know how long it takes for them to call and set up an interview. I don't know, because it's going to be summer break, if they're going to do it closer to when school's going to start. I'm not really sure, but we're going to see. But yeah, that way it's just a little part-time thing that I can bring in. If I don't get hired on there, then like I said, I might try to go back to the sort center if I can get like a 3-day shift. If I can't, then I'll continue to deliver. But we'll see. But thanks for watching, you guys. Thanks for joining me every single week on my videos. Thanks for commenting. And again, if you want to pick up my template, you can pick it up. The link is down below. And if you want to show support in a monetary way, you can always click on the super thanks button and contribute that way. And as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye.